I think you've got a great story about some of the prep work that you did for the SDR role, particularly at Salesloft. And I'd love if you could just share with the listeners today exactly what you did, because I tell this story on your behalf all the time. So I'd love for you to tell it.
Yeah, cool. And to note, you don't just have to do this before starting a company. If you're, and I'm going to talk about personas, and if you're unsure about the persona that you're reaching out to, maybe you're not as lucky to have like a marketing team or a sales enablement team who have really defined your personas, and you're a bit unsure, then do this. But before I joined Salesloft, when I got accepted the offer, I wasn't joining for another, I think, month. Had a lovely month off. And I'd never sold to a salesperson before. And I was honestly very intimidated about the idea of it, because I know how blunt, like from working with salespeople, I know how blunt they are and how direct they were. And I was a bit scared, and I was like, you know what? I don't feel that comfortable going into this role, and I don't feel like I'm ready to be selling to this persona. So I had no idea about sales as a persona. I only knew about the SDR role because that's literally all I'd done. Half knew about the AE role, but management, I didn't have a Scooby. So I sent and added, I don't know how many sales leaders, CROs on LinkedIn. And I added them all with a very, very similar message. It copied and pasted. Hey, Tom, you don't know me, but I'm actually about to start a new role where I'm going to be selling to sales as a persona. I'll be completely honest. I don't have a clue about sales as a persona. And I'm hoping I could ask you one or two questions to help me better prepare for that role. That's it. The amount of accepts was crazy. I got a lot of accepts, and when they accepted, some of them were like, let's jump on a call. And some sales leader was talking to me for like 30 minutes. Some were on the call with me for an hour. And it just meant that day one going into Salesloft, I was like, I know this persona and I know their challenges. And I know that the solution I'm about to sell really, really helps out. So it made me go into the role, and I was pumped to sell Salesloft because I've spoken to so many people and they're like, yeah, we use sales engagement. We absolutely love it. Like, it saves our life. And it just meant that I knew the challenges and I knew how to relate it to the products I was going to sell before even day one.
Now, the reason I love that is because all you're asking people for is to outline their challenges, right? So like, what is your biggest headache that you currently have in your role? Yeah. And all you wanted to do was learn from them. And I think 9 times out of 10, especially on somewhere like LinkedIn, learning from each other, that's what the platform's there for, right? So I feel like you utilized it so well. And if I'm right, I think you actually got a few opportunities from those prior conversations.
Some of them are Salesloft customers now, I'll have you know, just because of that. And that really helped expand my network. Like you said, I was able to actually, when I saw my accounts in Salesforce, I was like, oh my God, I've spoken to some of these people already. So it wasn't like a cold outreach. I was like, oh my God, guess who's in my account name? You. And then that was it. And then I booked a meeting like that.